like, oh, we were brainwashed. They're just gonna be like, hollow what? It's gonna be
Yeah, they just
confused with
aren't
some
gonna
like
know. Like there
similarly
was gonna
sounding
be
thing.
oh, like bear in mind this was heavily skewed because there's so many brown and black kids in the American school system. But Donnie, you probably remember this. I know TRS talked about this. Like some huge percentage of like high school students, like 15, didn't know what the Holocaust was.
What do they
Oh,
teach in history in America, though? Like,
They teach you,
Slavery, Native Americans, and the
yeah.
Holocaust, but kids don't pay attention in school.
But back in like the 90s, they would make you read like
oh, and civil
Eli
rights. Yeah,
Weasel,
they
Sign of
probably
the
teach that.
Chrysanthemum, Japanese internment camp. So that's how they warmed you up to it.
I think
And
it's
then like they bring a
there's
Jew
just a
in
lot
to
of
tell
white
you
people
about it.
bad now. Like white
Pretty
people
much.
bad, white people privileged, gay people good. You know, it's just that kind of. It's probably just a lot of that shit, and the Holocaust stuff is kind of maybe they drill on it, but it's like none of those kids care about that. Like, how do they make the Holocaust
That
about
was the
them? They
first time
can't.
I
They
realized
can't.
about, like Jewish power because I laughed at Schindler's List. I got in trouble for it. A Jew ratted me out for laughing at it, and I'm just like, why can't I laugh at this movie?
Like, if you
It's
open up
stupid.
that book, it says like on the first page, it's a fictional story.
Yeah, it is bullshit.
Shit movie too, overrated. Really melodramatic.
Yeah, it's one of those Oscar bait movies. It's like just pretentious. Like the whole, it's all one of those movies that's meant to like say something.
I remember when we went to the when my class went to the Museum of Tolerance or whatever thing it was, and going through the whole guilt trip of the Holocaust or whatever. Though, I mean, I didn't really sense that we were to blame at all. You know what I mean? Because I was thinking like, oh
What you
well,
should
we're
say to
Americans,
them is
right?
like,
We didn't
are you
we didn't do
tolerant?
it with Germans, right?
What you
But
should
towards
say to
the
them.
end, they start talking about the KKK and white nationalists and blah blah
Here's the
blah.
question. Here's the question.
And
Are they tolerant of intolerant people?
well, let me just finish my little story. So anyway, at the end, and it's like, what does this have? What does the KKK have to do with the Holocaust? Like, they start talking about these white supremacist groups or whatever, and to me, it's like I kind of understood at that point that I didn't like these people because there was no way that white people could ever have any advocacy that wouldn't be interpreted in a malicious way. And so the whole point of this whole thing is to basically, I mean, that's the way I sort of interpret it. Like the whole thing is just to make you feel bad as a white person if you think about uh, white interests and
I
stuff.
wouldn't. So I think they don't like. They don't have an. I think they have an issue with like collective white representation. But I think, do they take much issue in America with ethnic white representation, like Irish stuff or Scottish stuff or English stuff? Do they
If it's
take?
just like a carnival, no. Like if you keep it as something superficial and just materialistic, like consumerist. But no, if you tried to start like an Irish league that actually had like political power or something like that, no, that would be called proxy white nationalism. Like that would not be okay.
I think they only really
Right.
the only reason they lean into any of those like the Irish or Italian thing is when it like can undermine white solidarity. That's the only reason. Like if it's
Right.
Irish people against blacks, then it's like fuck that. We're gonna take that down. But if it's like, oh, I'm Irish, I'm not European or
Oh
whatever.
yeah. It's like that old chestnut.
Bullshit.
Like, I'm not white. I'm Italian. Like, so
Yeah,
cringe.
it's like a way to. I mean, it's kind of a stupid thing because no one's gonna look at you and say and think that really. I mean, they're gonna see you as white.
But that
Like
narrative kind of collapsed in like the 1970s and 80s when there were Boston busing riots and the Irish and the Italians were throwing bricks and bananas and Molotov cocktails at buses full of niggers. So, that is ethnic cohesion. And I think whites need to get back to that. We need to get back to that. Just say, get the fuck out of here, the invaders. It was like, it ended. People moved out, but I mean, some of those neighborhoods now, they're the same. They're the same people.
You open that black hole in 65. I always said that Bronze Age Northernist. A new
Yep.
cult is born. Cult of Northern.
Oh, sorry, I stepped away to get something to drink. Are you talking to me, Mutiny?
How you doing, bro?
I'm doing well.
Good. Fish
if
tank.
that ideology was to mean anything, what even would it mean? Would it be like lifting weights for the sake of Thor or something?
What was that, Katie?
I said, like, if Bronze Age Norvenist was supposed to mean something, what would it mean? Would it be lifting weights, like, for the sake
It would
of
be
Thor or something? Or...
bullying Jewish people and like lifting
So
weights.
who's this?
and-
What's this
shit.
anime bullshit? Bronze Age novelist.
What
It's
anime
a
bullshit?
It's a take
Who's
twist
that?
on the BAP thing, but I think everybody now, it's community. It's been community noted that BAP is Jewish and perhaps gay.
Who Bab?
Am I-
What?
BAP, Bronze Age pervert.
Yeah, he
The
probably doesn't
author,
know what it is.
Bab? What?
the famous neo.
Okay, let's just move forward. It's not relevant.
Not important. It's a tangent that should be avoided.
Mutiny. You seemed very upset with the show.
Go off, Mutiny.
You let that Jewish. Well, again, it was what show? You mean? I was upset.
The stream I just did with the Israelis.
Well, you said it. It was not a debate. It was just an interview. But still, look, if you interview somebody and they say like sky is red, not blue, then you would have to object. Because even an interview, I think, is basically to find the truth about the person you are interviewing. Like you're clarifying a situation somewhere. In this case, they were from Israel, living in Israel, and which is a fake ass country, by the way. And she was referring to borders. Nigga, if you look at the borders, if you look at the GIF file, the borders have been like. This is funny, man. It's the biggest ethno state in the world, and she was openly promoting eugenics and ethnocentrism for Jewish people, and yeah, but yeah, I think you should have at least through the. I don't know, just
Could have been some.
There should have been more pushback, basically, is what
Yeah.
Mutiny is saying.
just a jab, or
Because
something.
There's such thing as interviews where you disagree with the person being interviewed and push back, and
Because there are inherent enemies, so
Well, I just wanted to have the discussion, like see what they believe, where they're at. So I wanted them to be comfortable, and I wanted to hear them and like their thought process and the way they think and understand things.
So what is their story?
well, do you actually trust what they were saying then,
Yeah, you
Norvin?
believe what they said.
I believe they believe what they said. Now we could argue about
Do
whether or
you
not
believe
some of what they said is true.
It was real in their mind, Norvin. Therefore,
But no, like
Oh yeah, that meme. Yeah, it's funny.
people, but that is like a thing. Like obviously, people have their perception, and their perception they may not be consciously lying, but their perception may not be entirely accurate. Like that is a thing.
Okay, it's like saying it's their version of the truth. That you're becoming Norvin. They're like it's like contagious.
I would have asked
Careful.
about hate crime
You're walking a
legislation
very
in
thin
like
line.
America, Europe, and the UK. Like, why do we have to have like these laws?
But
The Shamrim
the
ambulances.
discussion was on the future of Israel. I wanted some Jews' perspective.
You know
some
they have
Israeli
Holocaust
perspective on,
denial
like,
laws in Israel as well.
well, yeah, but obviously they're gonna have Holocaust denial laws in Israel.
Yeah, but what does that say? It's like they don't trust themselves to investigate it.
well, they don't trust the Arab citizens or whatever.
Well, certainly not that. No.
I mean, that's a good point, I guess. Like you had to keep it. You're keeping it to the topic of Israel. I don't know. I still feel.
Katie, did you
I mean, were
die?
you worried, Norvin, that you would piss them off and they would leave? Like, did you have a concern about that?
I knew Pigger. I knew the man. We had
There's-
talked a couple times. He's a friendly guy, so I wasn't worried about him. His wife, I think I interacted with briefly once on a stream with Marshall. Like Marshall asked Pigger to ask her like how to say like some racial slur against Jews in Hebrew or something, and she started screaming in the background about that.
No
that-
shit.
that
Oh
was
no,
the-
I asked Aaron, how do you say fuck all Jews in Hebrew? And he
and then
yeah,
he asked his wife,
yeah.
and she didn't respond well. Anyway, I wasn't sure how she was going to react to me, what he would have said about me, but no, I mean, it was actually pleasant for the most part. I mean, there was that time where she like I took like it seems like they basically said they would nuke America if Iran got a nuke. I wasn't sure if that's what they meant. Maybe they just meant like the fallout from them having a nuclear war with Iran would be
Did
bad.
somebody say
Either they were
nuke?
gonna either
Did
they were talking
somebody
about
say
nuking America
nukes?
or basically
Yep.
ending the world. Like
They did
my
talk about
interpretation is they're saying. I mean, they said it was.
You want to know
world
something
would
about
end.
nukes?
the bullshit.
Well,
Do you want to know
actually
something
seen,
about nukes, kids? Well, nukes don't exist.
Nukes
Okay.
are fake.
Yes. No, seriously, I did an interview with the Paranormies and with Black Flag Productions about this. So
Yeah.
yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Imagine Marshall being president and he's like, nukes don't exist. We're just
Marshall,
going.
you should have
We're
bought
just going
Johnny
to
a steak.
invade. We're just going to invade
that would
Russia.
be the name of my party. That would be the name of my party, the fake nukes party.
Here's the key.
Yeah, the fake nukes party. Fake nukeism.
They're like, okay, what do we have to do to prove to you that nukes do exist without like starting a nuclear holocaust?
Without losing our country, basically. Please answer. Marshall. You're
What's the question?
No. Yeah, you are the president of the United States of America, okay? Now you
And
know
the
how
US
the
is gonna
balance of
prove.
power works, right?
Yeah.
Now you were being interviewed on the Mr. President, some people have reported that you do not believe in the nukes. You're basically saying that nukes are faking gay. Could you please clarify?
We're going to launch an investigation into whether nuclear weapons exist and do it safely without blowing anybody up.
But sir,
No, actually, there would be a way to check safely. Like, yeah,
but the Russians,
but you're not allowed to check.
I don't know how this would work, man.
Well, you'd get scientists to investigate it, but you're not allowed to investigate like at the moment.
Nah, you won't.
You know, yeah, like all of these like nuke sites are off limits, like the site where they stow nuclear weapons.
Anyway, I think I saw that Pigger person on Odyssey. I think I saw their account on Odyssey, and I don't know. I think it was on Southern Dingo's channel or some channel like that, and they're making a comment about how
Really?
Fuentes is gay or something.
Hmm.
And so I clicked their channel just to see what they were about or whatever. I didn't know they were Jews until now.
That's good. I'll have to tell Dingo about that.
Well, what did they call gay? What did he call gay?
I think they're calling Nick Fuentes a faggot or something.
Oh, well, that's based.
How is he still relevant?
Because America is a country in decline with a rapidly declining IQ.
All the
So
dumb
what are
drama
so what
nigger
are you
Jerry
losing,
Springer
like,
shit. you know?
what are you losing now? Like 1 IQ point a day? Is that like how bad it is?
I think it's like 2 or 3 per generation now, isn't it? It's pretty bad.
Well, Marshall, when you say how he's still relevant, you mean like after the Ali Akbar or whatever that guy's name thing happened, or
Ali Jamal.
And after
Ali
the
Jamal.
training, and after
The
the training
pedophile.
porn incident, and
Yeah.
after the training porn incident, and just because like he's just like kind of like a prick, like
I think he just had a very loyal following.
It's a cult.
the
It's
koozie
an
cult.
Yeah.
incel cult.
I mean, I'm not against calling him a cult. It's just that word is not very meaningful to me.
no,
but,
no, I get what you mean. But like they literally chant that they will like murder and rape for Nick Fuentes.
And I don't think they would though. So I don't think they would touch grass for Nick Fuentes.
Yeah. Yeah.
They probably rape each other for Nick Fuentes. You know?
I don't they will be raped for Nick Fuentes.
So maybe Nick Fuentes is secretly like working for the gays.
The longer he stays single, I mean, the more serious.
Yeah, like it's an open secret he's a homo at this point. Like we all know that.
At this point, I don't know. I used to say no, but now I'm like, okay, I'm open.
He's a homo.
Okay.
I
So
just
is-
thought something funny.
Probably. So is.
Imagine if he
Steven
announced that he
Crowder.
has AIDS.
Oh, no.
That would be hilarious if he got AIDS.
Well, he's been looking so sick lately, so.
You never know.
He's gained a lot of weight from eating McDonald's all the time. That's what happened to him.
Well, that's.
Oh, he's no longer like a twink boy.
He's really fat now. That's why he wears that puffy jacket all the time.
Words of the Rouge
Ooh.
is fat now. Yeah.
Oh, he got
Yeah, I
fucking
know
huge.
Marshall Root got fat.
Boogie, he was born that way. Be right back.
Yeah, I'm gonna go and
Finish,
attend to some
man.
laundry. So I'll be back in like 5 minutes.
Okay.
Boogie 1488.
All in all, I thought it was a good stream. I was happy with it. I look forward to reposting it and seeing what comments. Hey, Kaz, you missed.
Did you learn
the
anything new from it,
Israelis.
Norvin?
What?
What did you learn from that stream?
I learned that
Jews hate
they
white
have-
people.
they have a similar political dynamic to the West. That
I
even within Jews, there are like these equivalent like archetypes. Like there are like shit libs. There are like more religious conservative people. That they're having their own problems equivalent to us, which makes sense. I mean, the Ed Dutton model would predict that Israel would basically go down the same route as every other country.
Yeah, but their shit libs are still different. Their shit libs still hate Palestinians. Their shit libs still want like closed borders and everything. They want to protect like Jews essentially.
Yeah, there is, that is a difference. Although she did say that there was a minority that were like pro
Our shit
Palestinian.
libs are like our shit libs like are made to hate us, like hate white people, you know.
Sure.
So it's a bit different. I mean, I'm sure there's like some like disagreement that leads to hostility in the sense that they don't like the Orthodox having, you know, no rights for women or whatever. But they're still on the same page of terms of their own like Jewish supremacy, I'd say.
You should have asked him what a mamzer is, Norman. That would have fucking got a reaction.
No, I didn't want to say anything unnecessarily antagonistic.
I don't think anyone knows that term and not knows what it means.
Yeah.
Except for me, I've heard the term. I still don't know what it means.
If you put it into a YouTube search, it just says like Jewish divorce, but it's just like it means like a fucking a mamzer is like a what is it? Like a father is Jewish, but the mother isn't.
No, okay, so it can mean that. What basically means a mamzer is any child born of a non-halakh union. Technically, a person we would consider just genetically a Jew could be considered a mamzer. Like children conceived in adultery are mamzers. Children between like an ultra-Orthodox halakh Jew and like a secular non-practicing Jew is a mamzer. It basically means any child born of a forbidden union according to religious Jewish law. It can mean a mixed race person, but it doesn't exclusively mean that, which is why I hate that when people in our circle sometimes will try to use the word mamzer in place of Mischling. Mischling is the proper German term, which literally just means mixed blood for someone who's part Jew, part Gentile. It was about
Duvid a mamzer? Would he qualify?
Duvid is both a Mischling and a mamzer.
Okay, good. achievement unlocked for Dubin.
I believe that it was an unholy union. I'm not sure.
Sure. But
Oh,
His
God
father was a
forbid.
Scot and his mother was a Jewess. I don't know.
So it's like a bit more broad than the term bastard, basically.
Yeah.
hey, Cass,
So
welcome, brother.
it was about the future of Israel.
I guess it says here incest babies are also mamzers.
Yes, incest. That's right. Incest is also mamzer.
I've seen Hammer use that term a lot, mamzer, like in his circle.
Hammer?
Yeah.
Hammer. He's
Blood Tribe.
Yeah, Blood
yeah,
Tribe.
tied in with the GDL.
Oh.
Yeah, I talked to 2 Israelis about the future of Israel. They actually seem fairly optimistic.
You should talk to Hammer, dude. That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
I think
was
Hammer
saying
hates
that,
me.
Norman. He's right up your alley. He's a pagan, blood memory.
Wait, is Hammer the one that? No, I think Hammer's a different one that has all the tattoos that like threaten to kill me.
Christopher Polhouse, the
Yeah.
guy with he's from Maine.
Yeah.
And Blood Tribe. Yeah.
That's him. Yeah.
When did the Blood Tribe start like protesting? Because I only heard about them very recently. Like
I think
It's a recent thing.
Hammer was part of NS-131, and then he went out to like Ohio with Blood Tribe.
Yeah.
They're pretty cool though. Good optics.
Yeah. He's a great leader, I would say. One of the candidates that America has.
Hey Norman, wouldn't it be great if all the white nationalists could get along?
Yeah, of course.
That would be great.
That would be fucking great, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the problem always been this pagan Christian thing, and Hammer did
Well,
a tour with
that is a
HT.
big problem. But that's not even the. I mean, there's problems beyond that.
What could be?
I don't
beyond
even
that?
consider myself Christian. I'm just like a lapsed Catholic. I don't fucking
Enlighten me,
go to
Norman.
church. You know?
What could be beyond that big of a gap? That thing. What could be beyond?
In American white nationalism, there is some class stuff. The Southern, non-Southern thing, there's some tension there. Let me see, what else is there? There is some like actual political stuff. Like some people are National Socialists, some people are more just like racist conservatives. So there is that tension. But no, I agree. The religious one is the biggest one.
The biggest.
But there are a few
That's
others.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.